Asshole for refusing to give up my seat on a flight due to a blind person who has a guide dog and is visiting their family member in the hospital due to the fact that I have a dog allergy? I won't be going into specifics since I'd rather avoid being identified. I have a severe dog allergy. I can have varying disease of severity when it comes to my reactions when I'm exposed to dogs. In short, being in a closed environment with a dog is simply out of the question. Earlier today, I was boarding my flight with my friends since we're all going on vacation together. As I'm boarding, I find that one of the passengers is boarding with a golden retriever with a guide dog vest on it. I wanted to make it clear that I'm not questioning whether this was a guide dog or not. This was also a very small plane since the flight would only take around an hour. As mentioned, I cannot be in a confined space with a dog. I told one of the flight attendants my concerns since I could have potentially ended up in a hospital if I had to fly with this dog. The flight attendant informed the woman with the dog, who goes into hysterics saying that she's visiting a sick family member and can't afford to miss her flight. I'm not sure how sick the family member in question was or is. The flight attendant asked if I'd be willing to miss the flight and catch the next one that would be leaving in 2 hours. I was offered a seat in first class if I was willing to do this. I said, unfortunately, I'm not going to do this. She is going to have to go on for my vacation. Due to the size of the plane, the dog would not be able to go in the hold. The woman started insulting my character, saying that I was being heartless for putting my vacation over her sick family member. I got on the plane and sat with my friends. As I did this, a woman in a nearby seat told me that she wanted to inform that I, quote unquote, am the biggest bitch that she's ever met. I didn't respond since I didn't want to cause a confrontation. My friends haven't really said that I'm in the wrong, but they do keep making very sarcastic jokes about the situation. So, am I the asshole for refusing to give up my seat on a flight due to a person who has a guide dog and is blind and going to visit their family member in the hospital due to the fact that I have a dog allergy? Am I the asshole for leaving after my boyfriend made me sit in the kitchen by myself when his doctor friends came to visit? Hi, this is a minor conflict that me, 31 female, and my boyfriend, 33 male, had this week. We've been together for 9 months. He is a pediatrician and I have a job in an elementary school. He's sweet and makes me feel happy whenever we're together. He was missing me lately and been wanting me to visit him, and he was too busy, so I only got the chance to visit yesterday. We sat down in the living room in his apartment, and he was about to make some coffee when the door rang 13 minutes after I arrived. He went to take a look through the hole and then returned and asked me to get up and follow him to the kitchen. I asked why, but he didn't say. He had me enter the kitchen and said 2 of his friends who are his work colleagues, fellow doctors, came to visit and he wanted me to sit tight for a few minutes until they left. I was confused. I asked, why not just let me meet them? And he said, no, not like this, and asked me not to come out of the kitchen until they left and went to welcome them. I sat still waiting as the time passed. They stayed for an hour and I started calling Donnie, but he didn't answer me. I felt uncomfortable and couldn't wait anymore after I was ignored like that. I just took my purse and walked out the kitchen and told Donnie that I got bored of waiting for his friends to leave, then said I was leaving and walked through the door immediately feeling upset. He was stunned, and so were his friends. He called me later saying what I did was disrespectful and rude. He said he asked me this one favor and I didn't do it. I replied that I left because of the treatment I received, no matter how much he tells me to make myself at home. I was still a guest, and I was made to feel like I was less than his doctor friends, but he swore it wasn't like that and that he considers himself lucky to have known me, but still said what I did was not cool, and leaving like that and saying what I said in front of his friends was wrong of me. So, am I the asshole for leaving after my boyfriend made me sit in the kitchen by myself when his doctor friends came to visit? Am I the asshole for refusing to give my daughter her room back? I'm a father of two, Natalie, age 24, and Jonathan, age 17. Jonathan had mobility issues throughout his childhood, and it got worse as he grew up. He became a full-time wheelchair user 2 years ago after he had a serious accident that left him in a worse state than he was before. Natalie moved out for college at the age of 18 and then moved in with her now ex-boyfriend. Now, I need to mention that because Natalie is my oldest. She had the bigger room in the house. Jonathan had the smaller room, which was fine by him, but now it's different. With the major changes in his life and needing a wheelchair to move around, I have considered to move him into Natalie's old room that she hasn't used in years. I did call her first and let her know, and she gave me the okay and the go-ahead and to do what's best for her brother and make his life easier. I renovated it and added things in it to accommodate Jonathan's needs, and it cost a lot. Remember, that was almost 2 years ago. A few days ago, Natalie called saying she had a huge fight with her now ex after she caught him with someone and was staying at a hotel. We talked a little and she asked me to empty her bedroom and move Jonathan back to his old room because she wanted hers back and said it would be cool if her mom and I prepare it for when she moves in with us. I was taken aback completely. I said I can't move Jonathan out since he needs the room. I explained he needs the space to move freely, but she said it's her room no matter how many years she's been away from home. I called her unreasonable and reminded her that she said I could give the room to Jonathan, but she said she wants it and expects to have it back now. We went back and forth on this issue and I refused to give it back to her. She threw a fit saying I should be supporting her and giving her shelter in this hard time. And I replied, I know she's struggling and she's welcome to come home, but the room was off limits. She got more upset saying I was favoring Jonathan over her and got my wife feeling guilty. We went back and forth on this issue and I refused to give it back to her. She threw a fit saying I should be supporting her and giving her shelter in this hard time. And I replied, I know she's struggling and she's welcome to come home, but the room was off limits. She got more upset saying I was favoring Jonathan over her and got my wife feeling guilty saying she will be staying at the hotel till we tell her her room was ready for her, which I declined to do, and she said she could stay there then. This morning, I found out my wife has been sending her money to pay for her hotel stay, and she's been telling the family I'm keeping her out of the house. In my defense, I told them Natalie wants the room, but Jonathan needs it, and I already spent money to renovate it. So, am I the asshole for refusing to give my daughter her room back? Am I the asshole for telling my mom it's her fault I live in a cave? So my 18 female mom has been charging me market rate rent since I started working at 16, and I was left with travel money and just about had food money left. I got a pay raise recently, earning pretty much double what I was previously, and she tried to up my rent even further. When I refused, she kicked me out. This was the end of July, and I'm just now kind of back on my feet. I moved into an apartment, and my rent is quite high. And because it was furnished, I have a slight bit of wiggle room to start buying the essentials. I've started with stuff I just need. I still haven't gotten around to buying real plates or cutlery because I haven't been able to do so I've been eating off plastic. I also have one light bulb and I just take it from room to room. So, my mom asked if she could come over and talk yesterday, and I agreed to it. She came over, and the first thing she did was complain about how bare and dark it was. It was bright when she first came, so I was using the natural light. She eventually decided to order us food, and when it came, she asked where the forks were. She got them and got really angry that they were plastic. She went off at me, saying I can't afford this place since it's like I'm living in a cave and that I should find something cheaper. I told her if she wasn't charging me more than what I'm paying here, I would be having savings that didn't go into an emergency deposit, and maybe then I'd have light bulbs and stainless steel forks. She thinks I'm being an ass for backchatting. Am I the asshole for telling my mom it's her fault I live in a cave?